Alright guys, so this is going to be difficult to film, and last time I filmed of this kind of part of the process, I lost a bunch of footage, but what we're going to try to do today is we're going to try to bring down this sort of high spot. When we look at the piece this way, as soon as that baffle material starts to show up, you know, we can gauge how much baffle we have in there, and that's a little much still, so I want to flatten out this. Sorry, you're unfocused there, but basically this area here, I want to bring this flatter, where it's kind of rounded, especially here. Okay, hard to show you that on focus, and what I'm going to do is and you can see where you're working because the material lightens up as you file it. And we're just going to try to be really even and let the file do the work. I've been finding good results with not pressing. You know, let the teeth in the file do the work. And one of the things I forgot to do was to protect the tip rail. We don't want to reface this really. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of painter's tape here. Sorry about that. There we go. That might be good. This is all just to give us a little barrier around the tip rail itself, just to keep from damaging it, but leaving us enough room so that we can see what we're doing. Right? That's kind of my point here of this, is to make it so that I can't damage that tip rail easily, but I can still see what I'm doing, as you can see. And, you know, eventually I might put more material up here. I don't like that rough edge, but we'll see how much, you know, if we can bring this down. That's already a little flatter. So we're just going to go ahead and... and it's kind of a slow process. This JB Weld is hard stuff, so I'm going to try and knock the little dust out of it. And I have a system now set up for dealing with the dust, not only for up here, cleaning the file, which would be good. I'm going to use a little toothbrush. I'm going to do this off camera, clean the file out. You know, you visit a mouthpiece shop, you're going to see that they have all kinds of OSHA required stuff to keep the workers safe. And why wouldn't we want to do that for ourselves too, right? So then I look at my work. I decide, a little more there, obviously. We really want to get to the point where we're starting to really smooth this out here, this little rough little edge there. Let's get you on camera. You can see we got a good amount of that powder, so we want to get that out of there. And that's a basic deal, you know. I mean, you can keep going. I'm going to keep working on this a little bit. That's already smoother here. And if we look at our baffle profile, it's still a little much, and we've stayed a little uneven. You can see there's a little high spot right there. And I'm going to wipe this off a little bit, and we can see it's a lot smoother right here, that little transition. You know, that's what we kind of want to work towards. And as you can see, we definitely hit that tape, so that's a good reason to put that there. take it off, and we have our tip rail that hasn't really been damaged, hopefully, by our process. And again, if you were a full-on mouthpiece craftsman, it wouldn't be a big deal for you to reface this after the work is done. So yeah, still a little too much here. I want to continue to shape this down. Let me see if I can show you. Like down here, a little bit too much. Right in here, I think. And then that'll continue to add to our ability to smooth out this leading edge here. So, I'll do a little more. You heard the play test and the track from the Carport Warriors with this mouthpiece, and I like it, and it's got cool link quality, but it's a little chirpy and a little nasal. You know, adding the Baffle material changes the quality quite a bit in some ways. So we're going to keep working this and see if we can, you know, get something a little more palatable with that, but with that added projection. Yeah, I want to bring that still right there is where you see. So, yeah. So I'm going to pause this for a second and we'll do some more. All right, I got this little triangle file here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in to the corner, because when I put the Baffle material in, I ended up with some extra material right in here that I don't want. So I'm going to work on, I'm going to get my corner in here, and I'm really just going to go one line. I'm just going to go down, use the flat edge, and as you can see, we've just gone in there and made that edge a little more square. And all of these little details very much affect how mouthpieces play. So there's no shame in going, being serious and thinking about it, because that's what the people who really do this stuff, that's what they do. They go through and think about it for us, the players, so that when we say, it's a little nasal, or I want to sound more like Coltrane, they know exactly what to do to get you there. And that's a part of this process. I don't know how everybody looks at the camera all the time. I'm always looking off to the side. I'm not sure. How about this? Nope, that's not better. What about now? Okay, so we're here with, we've filed a little bit on this, and we've worked on getting the Baffle a little smoother. We did pretty good on the smoothing out this area here, where we have a bit of a lip because we didn't put Baffle material all the way up to the tip rail, and that's a bit smoother. The other thing I'm trying to do is flatten out this area because there was a bit of a rounded high spot right about here, and that can add to the mouthpieces being kind of nasal, or for me it chirps a little bit and getting a little squeaking. I'm not used to, I usually play mouthpieces with less baffle, so when a mouthpiece has more baffle, in some ways I like that, a little more projection, a little more power, but they tend to chirp for me. I tend to get a little squeak going on because of the way I play. So that's the deal anyway. So we're going to work on this a little more. I'm going to do a fast forward on it. I'm probably not going to talk much more, but the idea will be to continue to work this baffle so that this surface where the two materials connect is very, very smooth, as smooth as possible, and then we don't have too much of a high spot here. So that's what we're going to do. So stay tuned for what it's going to be, fast forward vibe. So enjoy. Getting there. It's really a lot of work to file all that down. So, and especially because this JB Weld is a pretty stout material. So like I said, I'm going to keep working on this over the next few days, and then when I feel like I've kind of gotten where I want to get, feel like we're getting pretty good on our transition here at the end. That's pretty smooth. So that's our deal. So we'll keep working it, and then the next day or two we'll do a second play test on it. And maybe by then it will be Monday again, and we'll play it on our session with the Carport Warriors also. So that's kind of the shot, the plan for this. Just work on it here and there a little bit and see what we end up with. And maybe we add more material, maybe we don't. You know, maybe we just pick up a second one and try the next one differently. That would be also a thing we could do. So anyway, that's our deal. Saxophone Geek, and thanks for watching.